Good morning, Royal Family, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin Kings channel. And I'm not the Coin King. I am down to Crypto TA, and I am your host on the Coin King channel. And right now, we're seeing a little bit of a rejection here on Bitcoin around the mean, which can be kind of bearish if it's around the mean. But overall, let's see, we came up and we hit the 1-to-1. We last spoke on Bitcoin, and it's been a long weekend with it just kind of going sideways. But we last spoke on it when we made this high over here. You managed to get a little scalp brought into here. I told you don't be too bearish. Just continue to pull your fib level up because you're looking for this 382 50% retracement to hold. And then once that happened, we'll get that wave 5. And so we came and hit the 1-to-1. We pushed straight through the usually I'm looking for like the golden pocket 786. And we did actually do the 618, the golden pocket, on the first rejection. And then we pumped up a little bit more here and we came into the 1-to-1 here. So it could be if we're getting a rejection right now on this 15-minute time frame. This 15 minute can go how it wants to go, to be honest with you. I jumped into a scalp, well, a little long here last night. I thought it was just not gonna be this aggressive, but I wanted to catch it because it was a breakout. It was from a Bollinger Band squeeze. So I just wanted to catch that because I didn't want to sit around and Bitcoin just kind of chopped sideways on me. So I caught that Bollinger squeeze right here. Last night I think I closed it out. It could have been this candle right here. It's not where I got out on it. So we got another squeeze right here on this 15-minute time frame. I can see it. And it is breaking down. The squeeze is breaking down. I don't really see the expansion, but let me just double check on that. Now I don't see that it's actually expanding, but yeah, it is. It is pushing. Oh, it's pushing aggressively. We got a gap in here as well, so be looking for that gap to get filled. As far as the 1 hour, we'll go with the 1 hour because we're at a level that we want to see hold for support on the 15-minute time frame. It's like 79 to 227. However, the easiest thing for me to go with is probably gonna be, I'm gonna say the 4 hours. About to say the 1 hour, but the 4 hour is flat, so I'll go with the 4 hour. So on a drop down, it looks like the max on the 4 hour is gonna be 77,871. So you can just keep that number in mind. Probably pop a line on your chart, 77,871 on your 4 hour time frame. That's the easiest thing for me to go with. But I can see just show you this Bollinger squeeze in here. I can see it, and I can see that it was so close to that mean, um, and the chances of it breaking down came real close because it stalled out right here at the mean. So you can see right here too on the RSI, it stalled out right at the mean. So if you start seeing a rejection around your mean, oof, that's a tough one. So now in this case, on this squeeze, it will need to take out this low right here. If it's not taking out this low, then you'll get a little bit of a correction if you're somebody who got into the top. Okay, I just wanted to give you that. As long as it's not taking out this low right here, closing below this low. Actually, it's more so closing below this low. As long as it's not doing that, then you still have a chance for a little bounce in here to get out of this, out of a Bitcoin long if you feel stuck in one. Okay. We did hit resistance, clear defined resistance. I kept I told you, let me just turn that back on, that ribbon right there. So shared with you that the last trend line we had to the upside, and I'm gonna do it from the 4 hours. So the last trend line we had to the upside, that this could be some good resistance right here because we held it so many times throughout this move up. We held it, we held it, we held it, we held it, we held it. We broke below it here. I told you that if it came back up, then this could be some solid resistance because it was it was very strong support. Every time Bitcoin was getting a little correction, it was very strong support, which meant it would be the inverse and be some pretty strong. Oh, Bitcoin is going for it. Ooh, ooh, some very strong resistance there. The other thing you could have looked at also, aside from this trend line right here, um, that would have been. We're coming back to this trend line right here, right now. Oh, I don't have it on. Let me put on a 4. Put on a 4. I mean, a daily, a daily. So daily, you're just coming back here into the bear flag top right here, which is drawing very clean. You want to make sure you got all your wicks inside. So all your wicks are being, your wick is being tapped. Your latest wick is being tapped there, and from the starter point right here, and then to the highest point right here. So making sure you're drawing it correctly is part of the game. That was a clean tap and rejection there. Now, I do still have that bullish signal showing up here on the daily time frame. Um, and it's held price up thus far, but it has to be able to get past this point. It really has to be able to get past this point if you're looking for it to get into this golden pocket, possibly even as high as up to here. It does have to get past this point. So I'm not gonna even say that it's the trend line, per se. Um, it's really these prior lows through here. It really has to be able to get past these prior lows in here. I think it's this wick one right here, right now. So it's this one, right now. It's that one to the money right there. Really has to get past here. Once it can get past that, then it's past the second criteria for that signal to play out. But yeah. Ooh, boy, boy, boy. Pretty mad sell off. All right, so we'll get back over here on the 15-minute time frame and take a look at that a little bit better. And I just moved the trend line. I just moved the trend line before coming on stream. It's still pretty clean. But I moved it to match that wick right there. Initially, I had it drawn in off of the two lows back here, this one and this one. Kind of rolled over a little bit yesterday when we got this move down right here. So I just moved it to capture this this pivot here. Since it was such a strong pivot. So we're back testing this trend line right here at the moment. See if that can hold up. If it does, I mean, we're back below previous day high. Never really want to be below previous day high. We're in between now, so we're straddling the fence. Like I said, we did hit some major resistance. I was hoping we'd at least retrace back into like a golden pocket, something like that. But right now, yeah, the 15 has been all over the place. So check on that gap. So you're inside this gap fill in here. So CME isn't even moving right now. There's a little bit more to go in here to fill in this larger gap in here. But this is the gap that was left behind over the weekend. So it was partially filled in. I'm gonna drop it down into that. So it's only about this much left here on this gap down here to the downside. So we really are, straddling the fence right now. My thoughts on Bitcoin. My thoughts on Bitcoin is that if the signal holds, it's gonna continue a little bit higher in here. The signal looks pretty good on that daily time frame thus far. I am still holding out hopefully on that setup that we've discussed quite a few times. Um, that could still happen. I just want to be transparent about that. That could still happen, and that bullish signal for the daily time frame can still stay in place, even if that happens. As long as it doesn't violate that 72,240. I think that's what we got here. Just double check on that. Yeah, that's 72,240. As long as it doesn't violate that, then it can still come back that much and still go from a continuation to the upside. But that's still the signal. The trade setup that I've been looking for about 2 weeks now. Maybe been 3 weeks now. It just hasn't happened. So hopefully we get a little bit more of a bounce in here. If you're somebody who was looking to long here, and I can understand too because if you're pulling your fib, you see it flagging out right in here. You see that daily high, and usually when it's flagging out, flagging out, it's holding between that 382 and the 50% retracement when you see a flag formation, and so it was holding there. Your invalidation would have been coming back below your previous day high right there though, because then you've taken out all of this, every sort of pivots, this full flag hat, you taking that out, so that would have been the invalidation of this formation in here. So it's all about this low now. So momentum hasn't shifted. It has not shifted just yet. You can't tell that there's any strength coming in, even though we're testing around this trend line. You can't tell that there's any strength coming in right now. So you would have to be a DJ to want to take a long on this right here, especially after that huge candle sell off right there. You have to be a DJ to want to take it. Uh, it's very close to price action and momentum are very close to matching each other if it comes down this year. And we really want to see a mismatch um, from them. We want to see more momentum, more strength. We'll drop this. Let me see. A lot of times when you get this extended, you just you create bearish divergence whenever you get this extended because that's outside of the norm. It's actually I take that back. It's kind of normal for the 15-minute time frame, but whenever it gets that extended, you only put in bear days trying to come back up. Oh, the energy is matching. Good Lord. The 4 hour looks like it's gonna get rough. Like I said, I see where the at least the 2 price points that we wanna hold. The main one, like I said, is being, at 77, 871. That's gonna be the main one. Liquidity being taken. Mhm. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I went to see, the new Michael Jackson movie, which was amazing. I had such a great time watching that film, and it's a 2-hour movie, and you won't even notice it. Like, those 2 hours went by so fast, it was just that entertaining for me, and I was not ready for it to end. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Salty, good morning, Salty. You said, "Who's in the short?" Not me. Yeah. I didn't catch the short either. I was asleep when we pushed up into here. I was knocked out at that point. I actually happened to just wake up and notice that, we had pushed through pretty decently on the squeeze. And I closed out my little long position that I had because I took this setup right here last night. And and so I was knocked out. Let's see, I closed that out at 79.7. I think it was this candle right in here. It was this candle right in here. Yep, I closed it out on this candle right here because I just wanted to play the little squeeze breakout from the Bollinger that I saw last night right here. So I took this right here, that low into this high right here. I woke up and I was like, oh, close, close. But Bitcoin rolling this morning. All right, looks like we're about to lose at 78,360, which is like I was saying from that daily time frame. The daily can come in and fill in our the setup that I've been watching for a long time. It can come in and fill in for that setup and still hold that bullish signal on the daily time frame. But where you start to get sticky at on your 4 hour, again, it's going to be around that 77,871. That's the first level of support you would want to see the 4 hour hold, even though the 4 hour is looking absolutely trashy right now. 4 hour looks absolutely trashy right now. Absolutely trashy right now. I know we put in some bear divs on that top into that resistance level on the 4 hour as well. And as I was coming on, we was just around that mean moving slow, and it was like, yeah, we do a mean reversion. That's gonna be that's brutal. It's brutal whenever you see that. It's brutal. But I know, geez, Bitcoin. Okay, so we took that liquidity. Don't care. It don't care. It doesn't care. Doesn't care one bit. No reaction. Doesn't care at all. No nothing. No nothing. 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 All right. So we got I'm not gonna even bother with moving this. I'm just gonna delete it. We got the previous day low. So we taking that out. We're probably taking back all of this, all of this, all of this right here, all of this. Oh, blue line is previous day low. This was what we got that bounce from on that 382 for that fifth wave. As I counted it anyway, I counted it as fifth into that 1-to-1 right there. Like I said, initially it was the golden pocket retracement right there for that first move. And then this right here was just something extra. But you can also see the bearish divergence all the way through here, which is to be expected. It's to be expected on a fifth wave. You're going to be looking for that bearish divergence anyway. So would have loved to have been around for that. I'm gonna turn on these last two in here. I just want to kind of see what I have happening right here. Oh, my foot. All right, so a little sleepy here. Great trade. What are you looking for next? Um, I'm looking for a recovery back up for a lower high in the moment. If the 4 hour is, if the 4 hour is looking to sell down a little bit more, I'm looking for a lower high. And then from there, I'm looking to see if this right here doesn't happen. This is the max on the daily to maintain any sort of bullish narrative. So I'm still looking for this. I know I've been looking for this for a couple of weeks now, at least two. At least 2 weeks, maybe three. I've been looking for this to play out. Um, and it remains the point of interest for a really good long position that could, bounce prices up into this golden pocket or something like that. But yeah. But for the 4 hour, like I said, a lower high on the 4 hours. So I'm looking for a bounce back up. A bounce back up for a lower high. And then we'll probably be sideways for a little bit. It might be sideways for a little bit. And then we see another drop out of that four. Unless I'm getting faked out on the bullish signal, unless I'm getting faked out on it for this daily. Looks like we might be setting up to let's see. Let's see. So we're around the mean right now on the daily. I mean the 4 hour. Yeah, we just set the mean on the 4 hour time frame. So let's look for that bounce back to the upside for the lower high. I'm gonna need for it to do more than this right here though, but we'll see. Let me make sure. I know we swung through all of this. Yes, we did. We swung through all of that. It still has a huge gap between it though. I'm gonna turn this off for a sec here. Let's see. It would be like the most bearish thing it could do is reject right here. So I'm just starting it out right here. I'm really looking forward to at least get to the golden pocket, which let me just do that. At least get to the golden pocket. And where is my 6.5? Let me just see. That was pretty close to that. 1.618 right there. This barely came up. Jeez. Oh, snap. Rejected right at the 382. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rejected right at the 382. Okay. I knew it was a mean reversion, mean rejection, which is bearish itself. You usually get like a strong sell-off when you do one of those. Especially with the environment of a Bollinger squeeze being present, because then at that point, it's so close to just puking. It's getting supported at the POC of the range since Friday. Okay. POC of the range since Friday. It's probably a 382. Yeah. 382. Get rid of this background. I would just expect a bear div in here, or inability to probably they may be unable to get any higher. I was really looking to see if we couldn't at least push into this golden pocket in here, but that may not happen. This 50 could be about as high as it gets. I'm just going to turn that back off. If it goes higher, then it's just a simple click of the button. But this could be it right here. Maybe it chops a little bit in here before rolling back down. At which point it will take out the previous day low. It'll take all of this right here back. Then we look for something like this golden pocket in here. Might even have to drop it down lower because this would be the next. This is the main trend line right here. You can see this one right here was just something that I had to connect off of the whim. Right here when I was looking to take the long yesterday, but mainly this one right here. So it could be a roll all the way back down into here. That also would fill in the okay. So we had just tapped into that gap that we put in over the weekend as well. So I'm gonna delete this one. This wasn't that supportive. And then I don't think that let's see, over here, I would have had to adjusted this, and I didn't. I don't really need to look over here at this anyway. Would have been adjusted for here, somewhere right in here. All right, that put it up and lower. All right, so I'm not gonna use this one over here on the CME. For anybody who's a CME trader, I'll go back over to that Bitcoin chart. And it's like we finished filling in this gap or something, especially if we reject right here. This 50% retracement. Let me see if this is gonna. Just trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's around that previous day. No, that's not a previous day anything. That golden pocket, yeah. So back into here. And then I would just add that 1-to-1 right there. And take a look at that. The only way I would be able to draw, I don't usually use. If I use it, then it has to come from a range for me, inside range, and that will only be like this. So yeah, you see the PLC right there. And of course, what drove price action up, which is what I was really trying to gauge in on, is what drove price action to the upside that yesterday, which was this low right here. Yep, stalling out. Failed rocket launch. Yeah. Failed rocket launch. Ay, ay, ay. Salty, you taking any trades lately? I know you said you weren't in the short. Wish I was in that short. Let's see. Oof, jeez, I have to do 6 on that. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. I'm gonna take a short on the lower high. Just trying to give it a little bit of time right here. Can be the rejection point though. Well, something. So I'm taking a little short. I'm entering the short from here, but I know that if it pushes through here, um, then I mean, I would expect for it to put in some bear div, trying to push up after that aggressive push down. Uh, so typically, typically it would reject right around this 382 50% retracement. We'll see if that remains the situation in here. So we'll cut it if it breaks out higher. I mean it. I guess no, I'll take that back. I guess if it gets past, let me see, what was that number at? 79269. 79. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah. Actually it would be that. So I'm gonna extend my stop out a little bit. You probably just want to add to the short, to be honest with you, though. After that, I don't want to add to a losing trade, though. So, April was not that good to me. April was not that good to you. You struggled a bit. You know, April was April was really good for me up until we hit the target that I was yapping about, and then once that target was hit, it was like it was a very choppy, um, just really hard to figure out what Bitcoin was really wanting to do at that point. Um, about the only thing that could save you was zooming out to the higher time frame. That was about the only thing that could save you. Because the lower time frames have been choppy, just like this 15 minute. The 15 minutes is really, really choppy. You get better signals. It seems like off of the somewhere between around the one and then maybe I would bypass the 4 and go straight to the daily. But her lower time frames have been really choppy, like this 15, real choppy. I try to stick with I try to stick with whether or not it keeps hammering. If it's hammering at one side, then I'll try to stick with that as a narrative. If it won't drop lower, and the 382 and the 50 been slapping. Really been calling some reversals because it's really been calling some reversals. If it hasn't been that, it's been the fib extension on the golden pocket. Fib extension on the golden pocket. That's worked really good too. But whatever side it keeps hammering at, if it refuses to go lower and it just keeps hammering at one side, then I'm like, okay, they just want to take it up. So just go with the narrative. Or just sit out of the market, because I sat out of the market a lot. And as you can see, like I didn't even try to catch, you know, I didn't even try to catch any of the there was several rejection points that could have been caught that I didn't even bother to take because it's just been a mess. So no trade is a good trade too. I almost did take a weekend trade because I thought that it was, the weekend is too noisy. I didn't like when we came up after talking about the fact that it'll probably bounce off the 382 50% retracement. I didn't like how high we got in here on the RSI. Like we got really high on the RSI, which is, be looking forward to fail around 70, and it was up here almost at the 80. So it got pretty high. I was like, I don't know if I like it. Don't know if I like that. Looking for a fifth wave. That was really high. Looking for a fifth wave, but it was the weekend, so I just figured whatever the shenanigans over the weekend. And I just stick to the momentum. I just stick to that. If the momentum curves up, I'm going in that direction. If it curves down, I'm going in that direction. But if we got really, really extended, then I know that it's probably going to put in like some sort of a failed swing pattern. It's going to do a failed swing whenever it gets overextended. It's to be expected, unless you're at a wave 5. Outside of that, it'll just do a swing fail. Swing fails is super extended. All right, short. Should see. Should have just taken that. It's barely up anything right now. Ain't even. All right, a little bit of something. The only thing that's kept me from giving up on the weekly time frame has just been the fact that the momentum on the weekly is flat. It's just flat. And you won't know really. I mean, you can know, but it's usually like when it closes, it gives you the best information, and it's just been flat. not breaking below the threshold that I'm looking at in here. So over here on the weekly, right here, momentum has just been flat, just sideways flat. So I've been looking for it to turn back down right here, back down below this line right here. And it hasn't done it yet. It's just been going flat at the mean, just going flat. Well, relatively close to the mean, just going flat. Because we keep trying to, you know, really just get through here. And we're not getting any closures outside of here right now. So just flat line. I mean, I was talking about, I think I got that wick captured. It may not be captured because I don't usually go for it. That's basically it right now, but it's flat. I want to see it turn down. And I know that, you know, bulls don't have any more strength to keep trying to push through here. And I'm a bull. I'm a bull right now. Not as much as I was prior to getting here, but I'm still a little bullish on it because I don't see anything that suggests that I shouldn't be. But cautious. Definitely cautious. A little indecision in here. Have to wonder what the SPY is going to do today. Well, I might be the only person interested in the SPY. Might be the only person interested in it. See if this is going to continue to roll over. SPY might roll over today, or at least this week. I don't really look at the SPX that much, the 500. I usually look at the ETF, but we'll look at that in a second while Bitcoin makes its decision, since I have this position open right now. So we'll be starting a fourth wave correction, maybe chop around here a bit longer. Yeah, that's what I said. We'll probably chop around here a little bit longer in here, since this was aggressive push down right here. We're relatively close to the 1.618 in terms of, you know, it being a match in that regard. So yeah, I don't think that we push up too far in here. I mean, we'll know if we got it wrong if it comes back into here, but it could be that, which is why I have this extension in here. Actually, let me raise this extension up. Looking forward to coming to the golden pocket. You know, at least one of these. Usually looking for the golden pocket. But it can be anyone. So the fifth is usually about as steep as it gets. But I don't know. I might be willing to add, if we push into here, it'll be a little bit more. I'll be a little bit more uncomfortable. But it usually does end somewhere around the 50 for the breakdown. And then let me see what the 1 hour. Let's see, it's 1 hour. Okay. So 7, 8. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, this could be a while. This could be a while. Um, Good morning, White Crypto YT. How are you? Oh, trying at a little short right here. Trying at a little short. Trying to decide if it pushes past this 50. Like really push past the 50, not the little wicks that we got in here, but if it really pushes past this 50, if I'm gonna add to it here, if I'm just gonna cut it, it won't violate anything really, but it'd be doing a little bit more than I would like for it to do to feel comfortable. See if it won't. I mean, I really. Me taking out that previous day low. It's gonna suck if we were to do that. So but I'll be looking for some sort of a reaction around this golden pocket, common retracement area there. Usually more responsive around here. But if that's not working, then got the 786 and the 121 in here as well. But I'm thinking more like here. But yeah, thinking more like this one right here. About a 2. It's cutting it pretty close, so I don't know. Maybe that's absolutely, let me try that one more time. Maybe that's absolutely wrong. No, it's 216. So cutting it pretty close. Talking about that. Okay. Yeah, I would just be looking right here then. Yeah, it could be something different if we're coming back up here. Could be something completely different. Is 618 considered a fourth wave invalidation? Yeah, it can come back to the 618. Technically, the invalidation would be tapping back into this low right here. But it to me, it just looks like it would be doing something completely different. It's more common around the 382, sometimes even the 236. You can throw that one in here, but it's more common up to the 50% retracement. A little less common. Coming back into the 618 is a little less common, but it's not an actual invalidation. But it just, at this stage right now, just looking at everything, it just looks like it would be doing something different if it did push in here. Just based on indicators, it looks like it would be doing something different if it pushed into here. So I won't feel comfortable with that. Even at that stage right here, it will more than likely be above a standard deviation one right here. And if it's above a standard deviation one, then it's likely trying to push into the 20 SMA, which it's just it's a little bit too far. A little bit too far. It would still be a bear div because of this aggressive push down, but you really don't want to see your bear div until you're trying to make your fifth wave, you know? You want to see a bear div coming in right here. It could just be something different. Maybe, maybe it doesn't even come down this low. Maybe it puts in a double bottom, some sort of a flat or something like that. But I don't like it here. I don't like it here at all. There have been times that we have hit it and I've been completely, okay. Just looking at, like I said, when I look at the indicators with it, it doesn't make sense to me of coming back into the 618. But we have hit the 618 before and it's been absolutely fine with playing out the wave, but don't look right. I mean, the daily is still positive. The daily, yeah, I've spoken on the daily already, but the daily is still positive at the moment. The daily is still positive. The weekly is just flat. Um, we hit a major resistance level, but if we get past that, and so the first warning on the 4 hour. Let's sink it in here. First warning on the 4 hour is right here. That's warning number one on the 4 hour. That's before you get to this golden pocket. So it's here. Well, my text is so large. And then the second one for the 4 hours coming in down towards this trend line right here. Let's start with this first one. I really hate to see us coming back into something like that, but it's here. Scale that out backwards a little bit. Yeah. It's down here around the 1-to-1, which I mean it could still be valid because it won't be the if this was a wave 3, it wouldn't be the shortest wave. Just 5 would be the longest wave. But once we're back below this previous day low anyway, it's a little bit more no need to feeling any sort of bullishness below the previous day low. And you can see how we missed it. We missed it. Take this one off for now. Yep. I'm gonna hide that last line that I put in for now. I'll put it back in a minute. You gotta try everything. You gotta try everything. See. Okay, so we're what would be crazy if they just sent another big candle like through here. I didn't even look at volume to see what volume looked like on that, but it came from an expansion, so I would expect for volume to really be there. I would expect for volume to be on that move. Yeah, it was, because it did happen off of a squeeze. See, I'm already down 4%. So about to be 5%. So I know that, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to not gonna be able to sit in this one. Even if it turns out to be right that it rejects from there too. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm already down. Um, already down almost 5% right there on the short as we're creeping through past this 50%. Yep. So this is what I look like right now. Let me just put on the short too, because I think I did it. I think I did it from. I just put it like that, and then if I'm looking for it to come right here, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Here, I'm gonna cut it if it you know on that. Turn this 382 off right here. Turn the background. Yep. That CME gap. Yeah. Did it fill it all the way now? Because I know it had missed the rest of a little bit right here, so it's still more on this gap down to the downside, and then the one to the upside right here. Yeah, this one to the upside right here. It left. I mean, I guess it just depends on what time frame you're using to on this gap. I can't remember which time frame I took this one from. I don't even think I did it from the 15. I think I zoomed out to another one. But yeah, So like a little bit left up there, and then some left down here on this one from the weekend. So we filled in most of this right here. And there, we filled in most of it. Let me see this one from a 4 hour. Might have been the time frame I drew it. Yeah, I put it in here off a 4 hour. So just a little bit. I would say it's a little bit left in here. Come on, Biddy. Come on, Biddy. While Bitcoin's doing that, all right. So what I had notated in here actually worked out pretty good here on SPY. Trend line support was supposed to be the 696. I don't even think we even tapped it. Yeah, the low got us like 707. It was off a little bit. I was trying to gauge exactly where I thought it would be. Like I figured it wouldn't do too much if it came back down. You can see we're trying to bounce off of that again. To me, it looks like the SPY would retrace. We're inside of the zone where I don't think that it could get any higher than what's that top up there? 736. Do I have that in here? Do I have that in here? Yep, 736. So 736. But this was the next deviation I could spot on it right here, since it is price discovery for the SPY. Know what to tell you. If we do pop outside of this, probably up here to the top side of this trend line in here, which again I reprogrammed it, reset it for the it's another high that it had tapped into. It's not going to show off of this chart right here for some reason. But yeah, at this point, I personally wouldn't trust the trend line, and I would look for market to open in for this to actually drop down. But it's trying to bounce off of it right now. But I look for it to break down. This was the last point in here on the swing fail that you can see from here, from momentum. You can see the swing fail right here. So I just plotted it out on the chart from where it crossed to the upside here. but you get the faster signal from here. So yeah, swing back down, uh, swing failure on momentum right there. Um, so still trading below that at the moment. Still trading below that. Let's see how that works out. Still, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Would it likely put in some more bullish divergence? More than likely it would on a move down, unless it's an aggressive sale in here for SPY. It'd have to be an aggressive sale for it. And I had put a notation in here about a potential momentum shift below 710, 706, but we dropped into that 707. I can tell that my notes look confusing now. Looks very confusing now. I don't know what else this could have been. I can try. Yeah, it's not close to anything in here. Let me raise this up. Let me raise this up. See what happens there. Nah, I'm just really looking here on this, but I would think that market will open and this right here will get a sell-off today. And that's my bias, is that it actually gets a sell-off right here. I don't really do the 500, which was looking pretty decent. Okay, see a little bear divs going on in here. Yeah, they're both basically the same. So unless we're getting like some sort of an aggressive sale, which it looks like it would sell off today, it would have to be aggressive. Otherwise, it just continue with the bullish divergence down below here. Needs Bitcoin, yeah, maybe not. I'm just gonna flip through this real quick. Oh, way to go, Palantir. Yeah, this thing is on a massive rip. Too late to change any bias in here. Too late. Should I just leave that alone? That's holding. That's pretty decent. Hold on, let me see something. See, after all, Tesla wasn't looking too bad after all. Meta hasn't given up yet. Oh, let me see this. Hmm. Good for you so far. I still think that this thing comes down. Looks a little bear flaggy. I still think it gets down to about 10 to 9. I'll buy. I will buy. Check now. Good. Still up on that. And that's still holding. Still holding. Okay. Oh, see what this is doing. So this did get further than I anticipated. I put the hammer on it right here, not thinking that it would get too, past this right here. And it came up closer to that 111 instead. Okay. So that was completely, and that was wrong. Thought it was, I ain't even, it dropped all the way back down here and bouncing back up. So maybe it does go up and take out that high. I wasn't seeing it. I knew that we had like the, got to be on this thing too. So that's our swing fail on momentum right there. And through here, yeah. Through here, it's just putting in bullish div. So this gets readjusted up to here. And the floor looks like it was just a mean, so no sense in putting a line in here. This was the prior floor. Well, the simple floor to use because it's never crossing back below. Well, it does cross below it, but it doesn't stay below it too long. We're nowhere near that right now, but it's putting in bullish divs, putting in bullish divergence, and yeah, oil is looking good. Huh. Let's see if this has a squeeze on it. Bitcoin is coming down. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not harsh, but it's coming down a little bit. Okay, so not necessarily a squeeze in here. I was going to see. I'll check back on that later. So we're coming down a little bit more. All right, see if this is going to happen. I have to up that. Could just consolidate again. Again, we could just consolidate through here. Let's see. See if they try to bounce it off this trend line this time, since it absolutely did not hold well. I don't know. It's so confusing. For me, the weekly time frame looks like we can get up to 85. Doesn't mean that you won't have the ebb and flows, like you won't go up and down in the process. Um, Clearly, the invalidation, as far as I can tell. Again, I would go off of the daily. It's going to be where that setup is. Um, at the low, where I have the setup at on the daily time frame, which is about 72,866. There's a little wiggle room below that entry. But like I said, it's 72 to 40. As long as it's holding that, it can drop. It could drop as low as that and still manage to get to 85, in my humble opinion. Been using some other numbers in here. Let's see. Type in these new numbers. It just actually started printing on this, on using these specific ribbons. It just started printing on a 15-minute. I wouldn't be able to pull them up on another time frame because it's not enough historical information, historical data to take them back any further than that. So you can see like this one right here, it just started printing back here. And then this one hasn't been around too much longer, a little longer than that one with these specific ribbons right here. Yeah, I'm trying to see if they're gonna try to hold this trend line this time because they took the liquidity over this trend line that time. Will they try to hold it? After that, I'll drop it if they don't. I had this crazy dream last night. I had this dream right before I woke up this morning. Actually, it was right before I woke up this morning, vivid. I took a long entry and the market did this on my long entry and I woke up. Hmm. Okie dokie. I don't think I'll be trading on BTCC anymore. I'm just not realizing how expensive their fees are. The fees are crazy. Fees are really crazy. 'Cause they have these overnight fees, and yeah, crazy. So I like to tokenize stocks, the ability to go over there and trade tokenized stocks, but them fees are crazy. So I'm gonna have to let it go. Blowfin has tokenized stocks too, but in my region, you can't trade them. unless you're using some sort of a VPN or something like that. But um, they have a pretty decent selection too, Blowfin. And I trust Blowfin more. Plus, you don't deal with the fee situation once you get off of BTCC. So I think I'm done with them. I gave them a shot. Mm. Mm. All right. It's about to be 8 o'clock. I mean, this is what I'm looking at. If price action does come up here, I'm absolutely out of this position altogether. Obviously, I mean, it could still be like putting in some sort of a pattern formation through here with the consolidation. But for me personally, I'm gonna have to cut it. If we're up here at the golden pocket, I'm just going to cut it. It's not an invalidation if you're looking for a 5-way move, but it's an invalidation for me for my for my capital. That means close it out. But if it works out again, I'm just looking for it to come down here to the golden pocket. It could also just bounce somewhere around here again. Do more like a double bottom. It could do that as well. So this is really hopeful. Given the 4 hour, uh, I would think it could do more given the 4 hour. Um, and so I wanted to see if they were going to try to hold it here, since they took the liquidity off of it the first time. They try to hold it here. Um, Aside from that, not a bad daily chart, not a bad weekly chart. Do still have some more of that CME gap to be filled down below. It's just really confusing in here, but probably no trade is the best trade. Again, I'm out. I'm out right here. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if today is the day. Today is not the day to play around with it. Look at the 1 hour here again. 1 hour. Gonna get some bull divs on the 1 hour for sure. It's more of an aggressive move. You'll see some sort of a swing failure pattern through here on the 1 hour, which don't actually have anything right now. One hour is still semi-bullish right now. You got some bull divs on it, current state, especially after that recovery. So not too shabby in here. Let's pull the whole fib like this, just a regular retracement fib. So just on the retracement. Retracement, I prefer. Let's see. It might be too much because I was saying that 4 hour is somewhere right around in here. So, um, so maybe it's just a matter of taking the liquidity in here. It's like I was saying with that 4 hour time frame. 4 hours highlighting this right here. Just throw that back in there again. Yeah, see the 4 hours highlighting right there. That's number one on the 4 hour. So maybe just sweeping that liquidity right there. I look for a bounce off that 77,673. My indicator's not going to care anything about, it's not going to take into account that liquidity that's sitting there. So I would look at this right here. There's a possibility. We took this, so that's a 50% retracement. Right here, 77, 786. What's that? 77.5. Something like that. They make sense together. Together, they both make sense. So that'll be that. And then from here, maybe you get a real lower high to a golden pocket retracement, because it's not the same for a golden pocket retracement on this time frame that it is on this one, on this 15. I'm sorry, it's not the same for this time frame as it is on the 15-minute time frame. So yeah, it'd be something like that. Makes sense to me. Okay. And so right about here, that's gonna be it's gonna be this low right here. I think it's gonna swing. Yeah, it's gonna swing this low right here. It's gonna be a swing failure for momentum right through here. That'll give that little correction back up and for the lower high and back down, probably. We'll see. It will be some bullish deals right here at that point. So that matches with round about that 77,723. Yeah, that matches with right around that point. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. That matches with here. Was this supposed to be my 4-hour? Yeah, it's supposed to be my 4-hour. A ton of liquidity below us. A lot of liquidity right here. Seems that a lot of people played this little break right here. And so the liquidity comes in right here. Just looking at the liquidity heat map. So a lot of people played that little break right there. So you can see it right here. Interesting. That's it for me. I'll end up sitting on my hands. I won't be taking another trade after this one right here. Not today. and just enjoy the rest of my little day and chill. Spare myself some money. I won't be making any or losing any, and I'll be happy with that. Yeah, BTCC won't even let me sign out of it. Won't even let me sign out of it. I hit sign out like 5 times. Even hit refresh. It will not let me sign out. Won't let me do anything. The hands are cold. We're 48 degrees right now in Atlanta. And I know that that's not a lot for someone who lives in cold climates, but it's a drastic change because we get very bipolar weather. It can be really, really hot. Like it can be 90 degrees one day, and then the next day you can get some snow. And then the same day it can go back up. Like we have those moments in Georgia, like really bipolar weather. And so today, and it's May, you don't get a lot of cold weather in Georgia. But when you do get it, it seems like the end of the world here. We shut down everything. More so because of ice. Like we'll get ice. Grocery stores, shelves will be empty. Even for this little 48. Don't get me wrong. Like you see a little news flash, temperatures to drop. Everybody's at the grocery store buying up all the tissue. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to kill it for the day. I gave you what I was looking for. So we'll see if that happens. And we'll see if that happens. Bullish divergence can easily come in before it gets all the way down here too. So just bear that in mind. Even though I have my TP set for this golden pocket, that bullish divergence could come in. Just looking at this right here, right now, could come in well before that, because basically all it has to do is close below here on price action, but momentum stays above here. Depending on if they want to take out this previous day low or not. So it could be more something like a flat situation in here too. So if you were doing this trade, you might want to look to take some profit right in here. I would do the same for myself. May want to take some profit right there. I'm just going to change that color to a green because it just looks better. I don't know what the price is going to be for your chart. This is a Binance. This is a spot chart. It's not a futures chart or anything like that. So it's a spot chart. If it comes here, being extra. Let me see if that would even get us to the liquidity. To that liquidity. If it did this, oh yeah, if it did something like this, that'd be perfect for getting into that liquidity, since that would hit right here. That's where that liquidity is sitting at. That would hit perfect. So what do I get if I hit here? Not the same. Not the same. I mean, that's basically just doing this right here, of course. Oh, it's going to try to hold. I wonder. That's exactly why I'm closing this out if it comes back into here too. That's exactly why. So with that said, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you later, Salty. See you later, my Crypto YT. Appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate everyone for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your trading day. Be careful out there. Liquidity is in here at the golden pocket from this high to this low right now. Invalidation on a little, wave 5 in here at that 786 right there. I'm sorry, 618. Enjoy the rest of your day. Try to figure out this mess with my capital.